Oh
Did
yeah,
you
roll
have
it
enough?
there, Colette.
And it's time to get out of this world.
FM. Ocean Drives, filmed with Eclipse, Dine-In Cinemas Bundoran. Now serving pizza, hot dogs, ice cream, and more. Overseas. Find out.
Time to join our man with all the knowledge. How you doing?
Pretty good for. I didn't think I had that much knowledge, but we'll say I must admit. So this afternoon, Seamie,
Well,
I was at the dentist for the first
no,
time in a while. I'm
you
not
you
gonna.
were out doing the rain dance. I
Yeah,
know
well
you were.
that
Look at
that
look
came,
at the state of the weather. Gee.
that came later, and it's good stuff as well. You'd be glad to know for the rain. But I was at the dentist, right, and she said, "Oh, look, you're going to need a couple of things. Do you want to do them now, or do you want to come back and make an appointment?" I said, "I have to be on the radio in 4 hours. What do you think?" She says, "Well, I'm going to give you an injection, and you'd want to be, I suppose you need to be coherent on the radio." And all I could think was that would be a first, right? So we'll see. I didn't get it done, but we'll see if
Oh,
anybody
that's
notices.
disappointing. Wouldn't we have loved to hear it? I'd love to have you on and have the old injection and your jaw halfway out here.
Yeah,
And you're,
trying to
oh
say.
wow.
Well, the Mandalorian is quite a mouthful, so we'll call it Star Wars because that's
Star
our
Wars,
big
yeah.
movie. Although we have a couple of good ones this week, that's our big movie this week. So it's been a while since the Star Wars movie, 2019, and of course, between COVID and everything else, they did a lot of TV stuff, and really, people got a bit. Well, I think it's fair to say a bit fed up with the whole thing.
Kind of
However,
it's kind of wearing out, is it?
yeah, well, I
Is it?
think there was that feeling for a while. So, when they said this one was coming up, I think a lot of people were quite optimistic because the one success they had was the TV show The Mandalorian, starring Pedro Pascal, who wasn't that big a star at the time and is now one of the biggest movie stars out there and is in everything, in all sorts of massive TV shows, massive films.
Yeah.
But this kind of launch, and of course, the main thing about the Mandalorian is his sidekick Grogu, who lots of people will know as Baby Yoda. So people who've never seen a Star Wars movie have seen the memes, have seen the pictures of the cutest sidekick in a long time. But you know what? Will we start
Yeah.
with a clip?
We've all heard stories of the Mandalorian bounty hunter and a child.
I only hunt Imperial war criminals. I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
This isn't about revenge. It's about preventing another war.
Oh, Sigourney Weaver.
That's Sigourney Weaver and the voice of the cook,
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese of all people.
You were
So
joking.
yeah, no. So big stars, Martin Scorsese, who says, I don't like superhero movies, happy to be in a Star Wars
Yeah.
movie. Now, here's the thing about this. You probably got from the clip. Even if you've never seen the Star Wars movie or Mandalorian, the TV show, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you get that straight away. He's a really cool bounty hunter and he's this really cute sidekick who has some powers as well. That's all you need to know. It doesn't matter. Now, I am a Star Wars fan, but I'll be one of those. I was a big fan when I was a kid. I've remained a fan of the movies, but I'm not mad into the stuff. I don't watch all the cartoons and read the books and stuff. I'm a fan of the movies, and I really enjoyed this. But more importantly, I had two pals. One who's a massive fan, who has the gear and all that sort of stuff. One who doesn't particularly care for Star Wars. All three of us really enjoyed this because what they've done is gone back to basics. It's basically a spaghetti western, right?
Right.
With loads of action scenes, but set in the Star Wars world. So if you're a Star Wars fan, oh, there's the bits, and you go, oh, I know that robot, that's cool. And if
Yeah.
you're not a Star Wars fan, but you just like a good, fun popcorn actioner, you've got this. What do you need for that? The Clint Eastwood type, really cool hero, and the funny comedy sidekick. You've got
Yeah.
that in Grogu. Some spectacular action, all these worlds, all these creatures, but mostly he's up against the bad guys, and because they're all stormtroopers, a load of nameless people that you can just hunt down, bang, 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 things explode, spaceships come in, meow, 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 and then suddenly 2 hours are gone, and you're very entertained. This is now. I think we're so excited it's coming, but this is the perfect one for a rainy weekend. Like
All right.
it
Yeah, I can
really
imagine.
is. It's just enjoyable. Kids are going to like it. Family are going to like it. But you don't need a degree in Jedi Masters to be in it.
Oh,
And
no.
I think that was the problem with a couple of the last ones. You were supposed to know who was related to what and all that.
Yeah.
And that's fine. There's a
Okay.
place for that. But
is,
when
yeah.
it's been 8 years since a movie, I think they just needed to come back and remind you when the first Star Wars movie came out, it was just a fun blockbuster. Then all the Luke, I'm your father stuff, which is great, but that came afterwards. First of all, it was meant to be the old TV serials that Buck Rogers and stuff like that that George Lucas grew up with. That's what he was making again, and it's great fun.
Come here. I was watching a lot of the clips and the Mandalorian. He wears a helmet for most of it. So did he actually act those parts, or was he
Well,
actually?
there are. It's kind of like Darth Vader all over again, where it was the voice of James Earl Jones and not the body of James
He
Earl
probably
Jones.
went in and he just did all the
Yeah, your man.
the
Well,
voices.
I think it helps because he's the busiest actor at the moment. But I think it helped that he could literally do some voiceovers. He's in some of it. Let's
He's
just
in
put it like that.
some of
But he is. But he
All right.
brings the coolness to the character.
He
And
is.
that's
He's a
what it
very
is.
cool.
Yeah.
He's a great actor. We like
Yeah.
him. We like him. But I do think he is kind of overdoing it a bit.
Well,
Do you
I
think?
think you
There's a bit of that.
you spend 25 years to become an overnight success, as you know. And so I suppose milk it for all it's worth.
Absolutely. Come here. We're going to be finding Emily. Comedy, British comedy, romantic
British comedy, very much in the sort of Four Weddings and a Funerals, Bridget Jones sort of school. I have to
good.
say, look, I'm going to quote myself from something else I said earlier. This is about love at first sight, right? And I saw the trailer and I went straight away, I'm going to like this movie. I just watched it, Seamie. I like this movie. This is good fun. Fella, he's like he's like a lovable Gallagher brother, right? That you never met, right? He's really in Manchester, right? He meets this girl. He's chatting her up. They seem to have a connection. She gives him her number. And it's only the next day, because he's trying to play it cool, he realizes he's one digit short, right? He doesn't have the number, and he decides to go and find her. He goes, how many Emilys can there be in this college? Turns out there's 364 of them, right? And by accident, he emails all of them. And suddenly he becomes a viral sensation. And this girl, also called Emily, one of the students, who's a psychologist, decides to help him, but really she's using him as her study, but not telling him that love drives you mad, which, let's face it, is true. This is really good fun. I can see you already like the premise, don't you?
I
You
like the story. That I can sit and watch, and I can enjoy that.
And of course, the whole thing is what can be very romantic on one side can look like a weirdo stalker on another, and he's going to go, no, no, no. And like a lot of us, the more he tries to dig himself out of the hole he's created, the more he makes a fool of himself, you know? It's really good. I think people are going to really enjoy this. Teens and adults will enjoy this because it's all about romance. Like, even from the trailer, I knew what was going to happen, but that didn't ruin it for a minute. It's actually the other way around. It's all about the journey. The whole point of a rom-com is you know where it's going, right?
Yeah.
It's how you get there, and it's really enjoyable. I think you'd love this, especially the soundtrack full of Manchester music. It starts with Blue Monday, and like it just goes.
Right, then I'm deal. Finding Emily. When's that open?
That opens tomorrow. It's really
that is
good.
opening tomorrow. Right, that's our romantic comedy film about romance. We have more romance coming to you, a bit on the obsession side, but not the romance you're thinking of.
No, definitely not. And again, we were saying about themes. This is probably, another theme of, the monkey's paws. It's called Be Careful What You Wish For. Right.
Yes.
This is about this guy fancies this girl. He's a bit obsessed with her, and he finds this magical thing. Never mind that. That's just a malarkey to get to the point. And he makes a wish, goes, I wish she loved me. And she does. But not the way he wants. She becomes obsessed. Now, here's the backstory between this. This actually, we weren't going to get that in Bundoran. And so many people heard much about it. It opened last week, but so many people wrote in and said, please get this. I heard it's amazing. So we're getting it from tomorrow because it's got like 100% in all the reviews and stuff like that. So it's really, really good, really clever. And I think sometimes when you do a new twist on an old story, it's always something that's really good because people go, you have to be really good to get me interested in an old story. So that this has been really popular. It's very much the other side of Finding Emily, but yeah, the dark side of romance. But this again, for an audience who wouldn't like Finding Emily and wouldn't like Star Wars, it's a really good choice. So I like that when we've got three very different big movies.
There's your supernatural horror film, folks. Obsession. I'm telling you. Yeah. Now, I couldn't believe this when you sent this in this week, that Tom and Jerry and the Forbidden Compass. Tom and Jerry are back on the big screen, folks.
I suppose
not as you know them, though.
Yeah, did they ever go away? Well, look, I don't know if there's a copyright thing that because there's a few Tom and Jerry movies recently. I think maybe it's opened up to more people can do it. But I suppose, look, some things never go out of fashion. Kids will always like Tom and Jerry. It is just funny. Now, I think in the newer movies, they team up a lot more than I remember. I always remember them not going, but this is, and again, this would be aimed at younger kids as well, not just kids. They'll be happy with Baby Yoda in the Mandalorian. I would say this is under sevens, and it's just good knockabout fun. It's about an hour and 20 minutes. It's a bit of a laugh, lighthearted. Nobody will remember the name of the movie in a year's time, but they'll actually have a bit of crack watching it. For the little ones who just need a bit of entertainment this weekend, this will do.
Okay, all right. That's Tom and Jerry back on the big screen. Okay, that for the weekend. Let me see. Mr. Monday. Here we go. The Three Urns. Really great Irish film. You like this?
Yeah, it's one of the next 4 weeks. 3 of the Mr. Mondays are really good Irish movies. This is probably the quirkiest of the three, with Ciarán Hinds travelling around Ireland. I really liked it at the time. And the first couple of days, nobody really came to see it, and I was a bit worried nobody would. But it really picked up over the couple of weeks, and I think people really liked it. I think I said at the time to you, Seamie, it's one for the heart rather than the head. It doesn't quite make literal sense, but it really washes over you like a big warm hug of a movie. And it's always great, to see an Irish movie, but particularly one that is totally filmed in Donegal, all around Donegal, and it's brilliant and fun and quirky and lovely. And I think there's a lot of people. I think a Monday night for 5:50 is just the right slot for it. I think people really enjoy it. Not think too hard. They've probably had a tough weekend. Relax and enjoy.
Three Urns on a Monday night. You wouldn't beat it. That's Collie on Movies. Till next week. Enjoy the movies, Collie.
Bye.